Hello, and thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Rchel Kessel, and I'm a community engagement specialist with Church World Service. I work with communities around the country, partnering with our programs around the globe and here in the United States to support the great work we do. I'm based out of Michigan and work in some areas of in Indiana and beyond as well. I want to share with you a story as we celebrate this 80 incredible years of this organization, a story that I hope helps to relay this spark of change that we're really focusing on. A woman named Victorine is who I want to share with you about today. There was a time when Victorine's world fell apart all at once. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, conflict tore through her community. Fields were abandoned, crops were destroyed, and safety really disappeared. And then she lost her husband and soon after her brother. But for her, grief did not come alone. Suddenly, Victorine was responsible for 14 children, 9 of her own and 5 belonging to her late brother. 14 mouths to feed, 14 hearts depending on her. And she herself was really running out of strength and dealing with her own grief. The days that followed were dark and uncertain for her. Their fields were damaged and their harvests were gone. Hunger quickly began to set in, and some days the family managed only one meal and sometimes not even that. In order to survive, Victorine and several of her children would walk long distances to collect palm nuts and sell them for a few coins, but it was very exhausting and was barely enough. As malnutrition took hold, even farming became harder to do. Victorine was holding her family together, but just barely. And then a spark of change. With the support of organizations, Church World Service, and alongside Hope, and a local women's solidarity group, Victorine was not asked to face recovery alone. She received food when her children needed it most, and slowly their strength returned. She received seeds, and those seeds became vegetables her family had not seen in a long time. Meals became more reliable, and health began to return. And just as importantly, Victorine found community again. She joined a solidarity group of women working together in one another's fields, sharing labor, encouragement, and dignity. And what conflict had shattered, community began to rebuild. With renewed strength, Victorine cleared a larger field. She planted corn, beans, peanuts, crops that would last beyond a single season, a future that could hold. Today, Victorine's home is transformed. A family that once survived on maybe one meal a day can now count on 2 and sometimes 3. Her children are stronger. Her household is stable. And Victorine, once again, participates fully in her community. She has the support and the encouragement that she needs, especially to raise those 14 children. With calm, confidence, and hope she hadn't felt in years. I really think that this is what resilience looks like. Not the absence of pain, but the courage to rebuild after unimaginable loss and grief and uncertainty. And here is the truth. Victorine did not do this alone. You are part of her story. When you give to Church World Service, you become the spark that turns emergency relief into lasting strength. $100 can provide business skills training for 4 women in Tanzania, helping mothers become stable and build income for their families. That same gift could also supply 1,250 baby fish in Honduras, restoring food security and livelihoods for entire communities. Or it can provide chickens for 5 families in Tanzania, creating nutrition today and income for tomorrow. I actually had the honor of visiting some of these programs of Church World Service in Tanzania and Kenya. And when I tell you that these communities have been transformed in the same ways they have been for Victorine, it is really incredible what $100 or even $25 can do for a family in need. Your generosity becomes food on the table, seeds in the ground, skills that last, and hope that does not fade when the aid ends. It really helps to provide sustainable and long-lasting, life-changing support. This Giving Day, the world feels heavy. Conflict, hunger, and loss are closer than we want to admit. But so is hope, because one spark, your spark, can still change everything. I want to invite you to be that spark and stand with families like Victorine's, giving today to help light the path forward. Today we have one day, we have one goal, but there's an endless impact. I want to invite you to give with us as we celebrate 80 years of this incredible support of Church World Service, to help support families like Victorine, to help support families rebuild after disaster, to help them provide for themselves, their families, and connect with their communities. Thanks for taking time to tune in with us today. And thank you so much for your incredible support and for considering further supporting this life-changing impact.